It's people and place that make me feel like this project is a love letter to Houston.
This is amazing.
To see the integration of the city and nature.
I think it's incredible. It's nice for families, the picnic areas.
I really like the trails. There's like a lot of room to walk.
This will be a landmark destination.
Happiness abounds in Memorial Park.
February 2023, the opening of the Kinder Land Bridge and Cyvia and Melvyn Wolff Prairie, the shining new jewel in Houston's Memorial Park, completed just 5 years into the 10-year plan to reshape the iconic park for generations to come.
I think this is perhaps the most heroic of the projects, and I never dreamed that it would be early in the building of Memorial Park. I'm just thrilled that the Kenders stepped forward and made sure that this would happen in our lifetimes.
The Kinder Foundation's transformational gift of $70 million to Memorial Park Conservancy accelerated the master plan, kicking the 10-year plan into high gear.
Our name may be on the land bridge, but a lot of other people deserve a lot more credit than us. In our philanthropy, every time we've had a good project, we've bet on the team that would implement it. Right from the get-go, we knew that Shelley Arnold and Randy and the rest of the team could build this thing, and they have.
Thanks to the leadership of the Kinder Foundation, and thanks to civic leaders and public elected officials who understand this importance of working together, this whole project has been created with public sector oversight in a private sector partnership.
Been the director of the fourth largest city with over 383 parks throughout this city and been the steward of over 40,000 acres. We can't do it all alone, so it's important to have partnerships.
Among those partnerships, the Uptown Development Authority, which provided critical public funds.
There are a million things that can go wrong, and any one of them go wrong and the project doesn't happen. And somehow this project came together, and so many people came together to make it happen.
It took the public and the private sector, all of the different partners, all of the different components of the city, along with the private sector philanthropists like the Kinders and the sponsors, to come together in a very collaborative process, along with a lot of community engagement to get this end result.
And more than one mayor.
One of the challenges of being in a position like mayor is you launch projects and essentially you start the avalanche rolling and you hope that it makes it all the way down to the bottom of the hill and carries everything along with it. And I was just glad that I was able to get it far enough along to hand off and get to the finish line. There is nothing comparable to this park anywhere else in America.
3, 2, 1.
In the same way that people flock to New York City to go to Central Park, I think people will flock to Houston, and this will be one of the main places that they'll want to come to and see.
And just so you know, Memorial Park is almost twice the size of Central Park, and we have a prairie.
I think people have not realized how big a site we were talking about. And we kind of expected that when you get to the top of the mound, you realize how big the prairie is, both on the north and the south side.
It's so much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Philanthropist Cyvia Wolff taking it all in at the prairie named for herself and her late husband, Melvyn.
I don't know that any of us could have envisioned this. This is important for our city. It's important for our soul. And I think it feeds us in a different way that nothing else can do.
That's because every aspect of this park expansion was designed with intention.
This was also designed with learning in mind and to instill and inspire your curiosity so that you want to go learn more. So you'll see animal prints in the concrete, and then you may see a story next to those prints, or you may not, so that you'll go learn more.
But I feel like this one right here might be a fox.
The nature part, the green part, was created to absorb stormwater, to provide habitat, to connect severed wildlife corridors, to sequester more carbon. Even the soils absorb more stormwater. The tunnels were crafted to be beautiful. They were crafted to give joy for the drivers that go through, to be a unique architectural feature for this project.
And then there's the Emily Clay Family Scramble.
I'm a native Houstonian. We didn't have much money growing up. My mom would take us to the park. And so here it comes full circle.
Full circle as a philanthropist.
It has meaning to me to give back because now I can carry that on.
And a mom.
And I could just visualize my grandbabies crawling up the scramble.
So exactly what is the scramble?
Well, I remember when Thomas Woltz, our wonderful designer, and his team at Nusselberg Woltz said 1,500 acres cut in half, severed by Memorial Drive. And he said, why don't we use chunks of Memorial Drive in the land bridge? Let's do something with that. And I thought he was kidding. And he wasn't at all. They weren't kidding.
The resourcefulness of that, the instinct to not waste, and to find the things in your immediate surroundings that you can transform through creativity into a meaningful object, all came together to inspire the scramble.
That inspiration ignites in ways even Thomas couldn't imagine. One of his designers who worked on the project flew in for the opening, only to find himself overcome with emotion when describing an encounter with a young boy at the scramble.
He was telling his parents about the scramble, and he was 6, 7 years old, about how it was so cool that they recycled the concrete and they weren't wasteful about it. Anyway, it just really hit home. As you can clearly see, making me feel things that I didn't think I could feel about my work. I'm just so appreciative of these people and how they're enjoying the park.
Jamal Butler feels that same sense of pride. The forester, who now lives in California, worked for Memorial Park Conservancy in the early days of the master plan.
I was able to contribute meaningfully, I believe, to some of the plant palette, the decisions we made about the nature aspect of this project. And so I had to come back because this is one of the things that I've accomplished in my career that I'm most proud of.
That's the rewarding part, is seeing how it changes people's experience of the park, watching the prairie grow and see how people start to understand it and experience and appreciate it. That's really gonna be fun.
People are part of this ecology, right? And so we know that more people are gonna be enjoying this, and everyone might not sort of appreciate, the journey that we've been on, but they will absolutely love being here.
They already do.
We think it's great. It's super good for Houston.
It's beautiful. I can't wait for the vegetation to grow up and for it to be really green.
The elevation and being able to see the city from a different vantage point is kind of cool.
Yeah, a cool piece of Houston history.
I wanted him here today so that he could tell his kids, I was able to come here the day they had the grand opening.
I'm just so excited that my grandpa was able to come together and help make this.
And to all those who helped make it happen.
Thank you. This is a really great gift to the city and to the people that use the parks.
With special thanks to the Kinder Foundation.
I have to say, Nancy and Rich Kinder have transformed the entire face of Houston and done it in a way that will be sustainable for generation after generation.
Thank you for donating so much to the community, because everyone loves it so much, and it's very generous to use your money for something good like this.
Thank you. Thank you for.
We
appreciate it.
Thank you. I mean, this is great, not just for us right now, but for our kids in the future and for their kids and for everybody that's to come.
Come here with open arms and open hearts and find yourself within your incredible community. My hope is that people come to celebrate the diversity of this community. And that's why I say open hearts and open arms, and together we can change the world.